Hi and welcome to Iconic Rides. In this series so far, we have featured cars from Europe, the UK and the USA. But there's also another part of the world that produces iconic cars, Japan. Japan is a high-tech, fast-moving country that loves technology, so you can expect their cars to follow the same trends, and they do not disappoint. Car fans today are aware of the Nissan Skyline, which can hold its own against any modern-day supercar. We wanted to step back into the 1970s and try and find a car that was advertised in Japan as the Nissan Fairlady, but we know it by a different name. So we tasked Kerry to go out and find us one. It wasn't as easy as you think it would be.
The particular car Colin and Olivia are talking about is a 240Z Datsun. And I came across this 1970 model in white. These cars are becoming increasingly rare and very hard to find, and I hope that Colin and Olivia are pleased with this one. Unfortunately, this car is in France. Colin, I hope you got your passport.
And here it is. Colin, you drove it all the way back from France. How was it?
Uneventful, just like driving a modern day car. The 6-cylinder engine, smooth as silk, a pleasure.
I love the black bonnet. What's the significance with that?
The black bonnet, that at the time, this car was offered with an option in colours. In France at the time, most cars were two colours, Citroën CV, Renault Dauphine. So this, with the Japanese option to the French market, you could have it in two colours. This is an original spec car with a black bonnet and a main white colour.
It's beautiful. Can we look under the bonnet?
Of course we can, no problem at all.
So Colin, what do we have here?
Right, we've got a straight 6-cylinder engine, bulletproof. As long as they're serviced, they'll go on forever. We've got Hitachi twin carburetors, which was standard as new then. Very similar to an SU carburetor. Normal radiator, automatic gearbox at the back, as you can see. A lovely engine. This particular car comes with a 3-speed auto box, but you had the option of a manual gearbox as well.
Let's check out the inside.
Okay.
It feels retro, but somehow modern at the same time.
Well, you've got a lot of 70s features. I mean, let's see. A lot of people smoked in them days, and believe it or not, a lighter was an optional extra.
Wow.
Right, you've got the basic temperature gauge, oil pressure gauge, fuel and amps, clock. But this is something that a lot of people probably wouldn't know about.
The choke.
The choke, yeah. Instead of when you start your car in them days, you had to pull the choke onto a certain amount to get more petrol to the carburettor for the start up, and then gradually ease it off yourself. It was a sort of, you had to get the feel for it, if you know what I mean. And another thing people might not realise, wind-up windows. I mean, nowadays, all cars really, they have, you know, electric windows. I mean, even down to the sun visors. If you look your side, no mirror.
Oh, God, what am I going to do?
But basically, you've got everything you need. And at the time, a very, very upmarket car. But it still has a good feel, you know. It still feels modern. It's trendy. The lines are good. You know, if you look behind us.
Really spacious.
Yeah, I mean, that boot, you can get a fair bit in there. The 2+2 models, of course, different shaped roof for the headroom for the passengers. And in my opinion, an uglier car, and they fetch less money as well nowadays. But no aircon, it's just basic driving. But everything you need.
Japanese cars can be very technical and require specialist knowledge. So we thought we'd ask the right questions to the right person to find out what it takes to look after one of these exotic cars.
I'm Jody Arch from JA Kit and Customs. I've always had a passion for performance cars and particularly Japanese sports cars from an early age. I just find them slightly different from the norm. The 240Z was the car coming in originally from Datsun, made the Europeans look up and see what a sports car could be made like. The original Datsun 240Z was fitted with the L series engine. It was a 2.4 six-cylinder, producing about 150 horsepower. Quite renowned because it was the first thing to have an aluminium cylinder head and a cast iron block, which was revolutionary compared to what the Fords, etc. had in the day. If anyone's in the market for a 240, the Series 1 car is the most desirable at present. They are identified by two external vents on the rear hatch under the rear window and a chrome 240Z badging. Like any 70s car, look for obvious things: rust around wheel arches, accident damage, or any car that looks like it's been neglected. There are a lot of good ones out there. They demand good money and been looked after, but there's a lot of cheap ones that you should just walk away from. We do see the Z cars from time to time, but a relative and a follow-on from that, from the what was Datsun stable and now Nissan, is the Nissan Skyline. Become very popular in this country since the introduction of the drift series and people drifting them. People are very fanatical for these now. I class them now as an enthusiast car, whether it be from the drift scene, fast road stuff. People are tuning Skylines and 200SXs. The Skylines now come with the RB engine, which was a follow-on from the L series engine, so they're a straight six, twin overhead cam, and then in a 33 GTST they are turbocharged. If you get a GTR, they're twin turbo 2.6, very tunable and can make big horsepower. Early Skylines now, they were about early 90s. They're a 30-year-old car. Good original examples now that have been unmolested are very hard to find and command good money. So if anyone's looking to buy that sort of thing, do your homework before you part with your cash, because you will end up with big bills. I've seen the 240 the iconic crew have bought. It is a solid, unmodified car from France, originally in its two-tone black and white paint, and with a little paint restoration and some door and window seals, it will be a very good car. It is all original.
Fascinating. Make sure you get an expert's advice when buying a car, especially one as rare and exotic as this 240Z. Colin, I know you're itching to take it for a drive. What are we waiting for?
Let's go.
Yeah, you're clear. The one thing I wasn't expecting was how rattly it is. So rattly, it feels like we're in a tin can at the moment.
It does. The rubbers on the doors, for example, you know, they've lost their springiness. They do need changing, and it'll make a big difference. But this isn't the best of roads.
No.
It's bumpy. Be different on the motorway where it's a bit smoother. I mean, it's a lovely looking thing, and it drives nice. Keeps up with modern day traffic.
Yeah.
Oil pressure's good. Temperature's perfect. And one of the things that does get you is how low you actually are to the floor in the car.
Yeah, very low. You can pretty much feel every bump at the moment.
The engines are bulletproof on these. As long as you service them, they're fine.
I mean, she's doing really well. Saying she's 50 years old. 50 years old. You can't believe it, can you? Just how modern it looks with all the curves. She looks beautiful still.
Well, as I say, if you look at one of these modern day cars, they're all square, and this is all curves, isn't it?
It is. It's a lovely look at. Real head turner.
One of the things I do like about this motor as well is the lovely long bonnet with that beautiful power lump in the middle.
Looks so smart.
That bulge just looks so nice. I mean, this car really put Datsun on the map, which of course is modern day Nissan.
Yeah.
But this was one of the first Japanese cars that brought our attention to, wow, look what they can build. And this car was way ahead of its time in design, in my opinion. And this is the one that actually, I would say, started to make Japanese cars be taken seriously as sports cars.
Yes.
It's a marvellous design. I really like it.
And you can see from the wow factor, it does have it. Especially with the two-tone colours and everything. It looks lovely.
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, that was an option they gave in France because it was fashionable at the time in France to have different colours on a car.
So how much would you say a car like this would go for in today's rates?
I mean, the cheapest one that I've seen that I call to a good or reasonable standard has been about 12,000.
Yeah.
But I've seen them go up to 35 or 36,000. I'd put this one somewhere around the 20s mark.
Yeah.
It just needs some rubbers and a few little bits of touching up, little bit of maintenance, but a thoroughly good car and a solid car as well, because these did suffer with rust. It had paintwork 10 years ago in France when it was owned by the film company. and the paint stood up well. It's obviously got a bit of history. It would be interesting to find out what films it was in.
We really need to find that out.
Yeah, I think that's something that we've got to do. I mean, whoever gets it, they're going to get a nice solid car, because they did suffer with rust quite badly.
Yeah, I mean, now we've been driving the car as well, that tin canny feel has kind of going. Now it's warmed up a little bit.
Yeah.
It's running and sounding a lot smoother.
With these chokes, when you're not used to them, you've got to get the right amount and turn it on and off as the car warms up.
Right.
Otherwise it does splutter a little bit. So, you know, it's just a matter of getting used to it. Drive it a few times in the cold weather and you'd soon suss it out.
It's held up very well for saying it's just 50 years old, and you can't believe it. 50 years old, it still looks like this.
No.
The shape of it is just amazing. For saying in the 70s you were driving around in something like this must have felt incredible.
I mean, everything on the car works as it should do.
Yeah.
You know, which is good, because the build quality is staying 50 years. Perfect. 2.4 engine, delivers enough power. You know, it keeps up with modern day traffic, and that's all you want, really. But I mean, it's one of them cars, in my opinion, that will never go down in value. Never buy a project with one of these. Buy one that's done like this one, where it's just a little bit of maintenance and care that it may need. Because otherwise you'll end up spending far more than what you could have bought a decent one for.
Well, I think the new owner of this is going to be a very lucky person, that's for sure.
I do. I mean, the seats are original. I mean, all right, they're slightly discoloured with the wear over the years, but there's no holes in them. All the stitching's good.
No, yeah, really good condition. And the harnesses, do we think this was an added thing for the
This was for the film company for insurance purposes in France, which I don't know what it's all about, but they had to be put in for them. So they're not original, but
what it may be original is these seat belts here,
Yeah.
which is just a one that goes across your waist and nothing else.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, the car itself in general condition, I'd call it a good plus. And as I say, driving back when we come from Bordeaux, 700 miles, it was uneventful, no dramas, 70 mile an hour more or less all the way. And as I say, that 6-cylinder engine, smooth as silk, just runs and drives perfectly as the day it was.
Oh, what a lovely drive, especially with that sun beaming on it. I can imagine it now.
Yeah, it was nice. As I say, it was a sunny day coming back, and it was thoroughly enjoyable. I wouldn't have cared if it was another couple 100 miles more, to be truthful.
No.
I personally prefer these to an E-Type Jag. In my opinion, they drive better than the Series 1 and 2. And I think they're better looking, personally. It's just my personal point of view. You've got everything you need, it tells you everything. Although it's basic and 70s, I mean, this was very advanced for its day.
Yeah, it still looks modern, it still looks quirky, it looks quite funky, don't it?
It does, yeah.
Very different.
And as we know, 70s stuff is coming back in.
Absolutely.
So as I say, if you're going to buy one of these, always check for rust, because they did rust very, very badly, and always look for bad welding repairs.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, they can cost you a lot of money, and spare parts of these are not cheap. So as I say, you should really buy one that's done like this one, and just, you know, just keep it well maintained, and if you keep it well maintained, it won't cost you much money.
I can't believe this car is almost 50 years old. It must have been a revelation when it was first launched.
It was way ahead of its European and American rivals at the time in technology and refinement.
That 6-cylinder engine is so smooth. I think I'd prefer it with a manual gearbox, but it's no slouch with that 3-speed auto.
This car was replaced with the 240Z, but I think this is the car in its purest form.
As I said earlier, cars like this are becoming really hard to find, and over the last few years, the prices have really taken off. But when buying any specialist car, make sure you do your homework before you buy, otherwise you could end up with some nasty bills. Next up is an American muscle car with just a little bit of attitude. Comebacks have been happening all throughout history, from politicians to sports stars to Hollywood icons. Some successful
some not so. So we started to think, what if cars could make comebacks and recreate the era in which they came from? One type of car that has really given it a go is the American muscle car, the iconic symbol of the 60s and early 70s.
The originals have got a fanatical following, but what about the modern day equivalents?
What we have here are 3 modern-day incarnations of iconic American muscle cars. The Ford Mustang, the Chevrolet Camaro and the Dodge Challenger. The Mustang first appeared in 1965 and is now in its 6th generation. The Camaro made its debut in 1967 and this one is the 5th generation. The Dodge Challenger was the last to appear in 1970. And this is the car that we are most interested in today. The first generation Challenger production ran from 1970 to 1974, and this is the car that gave it its reputation as an iconic muscle car. The most powerful option was the 1971 RT version, fitted with a 426 cubic inch Chrysler Hemi engine, producing 425 horsepower. Big numbers, even by modern day standards. Also a Hollywood icon, featuring in the 1971 film Vanishing Point. So, can the modern day version really live up to the 70s icon? The first thing that strikes you when you walk up to the car is this menacing appearance. It's a big, muscular car and its reputation goes before it.
This car is 5 metres long by 2 metres wide. This is an RT version and is fitted with a 345 cubic inch Hemi V8.
If you want to turn heads, this is the way to do it. It takes a whole minute just to walk around it. If you look closely, you can see the styling details carried over from the 70s original. Inside the car, it has an American muscle car feel to it, but it does look like they have taken a few styling cues from some European brands. Under the hood, as we better say, it is crammed with technology, something the 70s version never had. Wow, these seats are amazingly comfortable.
Built for distance.
Look how far away the end of the bonnet is. Oh, Colin, start her up.
That's how a car should sound. I know the very road for this.
Tell us a little bit about the car then, Colin. How does she feel?
It feels nice and light on the steering. Brakes are very good.
Yeah.
Always are on American cars of this new generation. Not like the old ones. There's plenty of power in it and it's a lovely noise as well.
The noise is fascinating. It's so good.
She feels very solid, lovely. Engine's sweet. So they're a little bit basic inside. I mean, they're built to a budget price, so the note of that engine, it just puts a smile on your face. All cars should sound like that. I had an early Challenger, mine was a 71, it's in white. I saw that film, just had to have one many years ago. Once you're driving it, it doesn't feel as long as it is, if you know what I mean.
Really?
Yeah, no,
Even the bonnet looks so far away sat here.
Yeah, no.
Feels huge.
Wait till you drive it.
I know, I can't
You'll
wait.
be impressed.
You're going to have to pull over. I really want to go.
I thought you would. I know, like, everyone always thinks of the Dodge Charger when they think of a Dodge, but for my money, the Challenger's a better drive.
Right, you've got to get a pull over. I want to have a go.
Have a go. You'll enjoy this.
Perfect. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it feels so big. What are you on about? It looks it's massive. It is hogging the whole road. Literally breathing in as other cars are coming past. The bonnet feels so big. But no, it's such a nice drive.
Wait, you put your foot down.
This is a real petrol heads car.
considering it's built to a budget, can't really grumble, really.
No, you can't. What sort of price is this looking at?
I think it's around the 40 grand mark.
Yeah. Around £40,000 for a car like this. Can't go wrong.
No, I mean, if you think of the BMW or the Mercedes equivalent, it would be a lot more.
Exactly. The only thing you're probably slacking is just a bit of a prettier inside, really, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it is basic. It's a working man's car, really, isn't it? But just built to sort of cross continents, really. I mean, you'd be comfortable in this.
Oh, yeah, you would be comfortable, but again, it's not something I would want to drive every day to work.
No.
We drove the latest version of the Mustang earlier on in the series, but this has a whole different feel to it. This feels more aggressive than the Mustang. I feel a real badass driving this car. It's like, get out my way type of car.
God, that little tap on the accelerator then just knocked my head back.
Yeah, it does.
Imagine trying to park this at the supermarket. I don't think I'd be able to drive this car every day. I'd be living on my nerves.
The old muscle cars, they sort of depreciate. You could buy one for next to nothing at one time. And then a few years ago, they started creeping up. And they're £40,000-50,000 for some of them now. When they were just a few £1,000 some years, well, not too many years ago.
It's crazy how the price goes up as they start getting iconic.
Yeah. Car definitely suits you.
Does it? Do I look good, Colin?
You look good in it, yeah.
I feel good, and that's the main factor. Feel good car.
Yeah.
I think there'd be a lot of stops at the petrol station in this car. That was a pretty hair-raising drive. This is a very comfortable car to drive, but it still has that muscle car feeling because of that engine.
This would be my pick of the modern day American muscle cars.
Does this appeal to the 70s petrol head? I think the name alone takes it back to the 1970s, so that on its own makes it an iconic ride. Do these modern takes on old classics work in today's world? Yes, they do. But I think each of them appeal to different people. But I don't think you'd be disappointed with any of these three cars. All three feel big on UK roads, but they were originally designed for the wide open spaces of the US of A. Again, we have run out of time for today, but Colin and I have had an amazing time with this Challenger. And if you want bang for your buck, then look no further than any of these three cars. See you next time. Bye for now.